Hi everyone, welcome to this educational video on Practical Research 1, where we will explore the essential chapters that shape a strong and well-structured research study. In this journey, we will guide you through Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Whether you're just starting or refining your research, this video will help you with the knowledge to navigate each chapter effectively. Before we dive into the details of PR1, let's first answer an important question. What is research? Research is a systematic process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information to answer a question, solve a problem, or explore a concept. It involves gathering data where using credible sources to support findings, analyzing information, or drawing insights from collected data. So, why is research important? It expands knowledge by providing answers to pressing questions. It solves real-world problems by offering evidence-based solutions. It improves decision-making through informed analysis, and also, in Practical Research 1, we focus on applying these principles to explore topics relevant to senior high school students, especially in the ABM strand. Now that we know what research is, let's explore its types and significance in more detail. Let's begin by discussing Chapter 1 of Practical Research 1, the foundation of any research study. In this chapter, we will cover introduction, statement of the problem, significance of the study, definition of terms, and scope and delimitations. Let's get started with the introduction. The introduction provides an overview of the research topics and sets the context for the study. It highlights the importance of topic and explains why is it worth investigating. When writing an introduction, remember to state the background information relevant to the topic. Identify the research gap that your study aims to fill. Emphasize the importance of addressing the issue. For example, if the research focuses on financial literacy among senior high school students, the introduction should mention the growing need for financial management skills and how these affects students' decision-making and future stability.
Let's talk about the statement of the problem. The statement of the problem outlines the specific issues the research intends to address. It includes the main problem. This is the overarching issue or question being explored. Specific sub-problems. The detailed question that guide the research process. When formulating the statement of the problem, you must be clear and concise. Focus on addressing knowledge gaps or real-world concerns. For example, main problem. What are the spending behaviors of grade 11 ABM students with OFW parents? Sub-problems. How do students allocate their allowance between academic and personal expenses? What factors influence their spending habits? What challenges do they face in managing their finances?
What contribution will the study make? Who are the beneficiaries?
Let's move on to definition of terms. The definition of terms such as clarifies the key concept and variable used in the study to define terms effectively. Use operational definition. Define terms based on how they are used in the study. Be specific and precise to avoid confusion. Example: allowance utilization refers to how students allocate their weekly or monthly funds for educational and personal needs. Spending behaviors refers to the patterns and habits students exhibit when managing their allowance. Lastly, let's discuss the scope and delimitation. The scope and delimitation refers to the boundaries of the study. Scope refers to what the study covers in terms of content, location, population, and time frame. Delimitation refers to the limitation or constraints that the study acknowledges. Example: scope. This study focused on grade 11 Indian students from selected school covering the spending behaviors over 1 semester. Delimitation. This study does not include students from other strand or year level, and it exclude factors unrelated to financial literacy. To recap, Chapter 1 covers the essential groundwork of a research study. These elements set a strong foundation for conducting meaningful and relevant research.
In this session, we'll discuss Chapter 2 of Practical Research 1, focusing on the two key components: review of related literature and studies, and conceptual framework. Conceptual framework. This element strengthens the foundation of a research study by providing a deeper understanding to the topic and guiding the direction of a research. Let's begin with the review of related literature and studies. The review of related literature and studies examines past research that is relevant to the topic. It serves several important purposes. Establishing context, provide background information to support the studies. Identifying gaps, highlight areas where further research is needed. Validating the study, strengthens the credibility of the research by referencing established knowledge. It's important to distinguish between literature and studies in the RRL. Related literatures refers to published work such as books, journal, articles, and reports that provide conceptual and theoretical insights. Example, a journal article discussing financial literacy programs in schools. Related studies refers to previously conducted research, thesis, dissertation, and case studies that explore similar topics. Example, a thesis examining the budgeting habits of senior high school students. When gathering information for the RRL, focus on the credible sources such as books and academic journals, found in libraries and online database. Online databases, platforms like Google Scholars, JSTOR, and ResearchGate. Thesis and dissertations, local and international research relevant to the topic. Tip: prioritize studies published within the last 5 years to ensure relevance and accuracy. To organize the RRL effectively, group similar studies, categorize sources based on themes or concepts, highlight key findings, emphasize relevant results and conclusions, identifying gaps in literature, point out areas that require further investigations. Example, if you're studying spending habits of senior high school students, group related studies on financial management, habits, budgeting challenges, effects on financial literacy. Now, let's move on to the conceptual framework. The conceptual framework visually represents the relationship between the variables in a study. It answers the questions: how do the key concepts in the study relate to one another?
The conceptual framework serves several important functions: clarification, relationship, explain how independent and dependent variables interact, guiding research design, help determine the direction of data collection and analysis, establish theoretical foundation, connect the study to established territories, independent variable, financial literacy, dependent variable, spending behavior. When developing conceptual framework, identify key variable, define the independent, dependent, and intervening variable. Use established relationship, show how these variables influence one another. Use a visual model. Create diagram to illustrate relationship. Common model used developing a conceptual framework. Input process, output. Model show how input affect process and lead to output. Example, input financial literacy. Process student participation. Output improve budgeting habits. Theoretical model based on established theories to explain relationship. Example, the theory of planned behavior used to study decision making.
Next, we will move on to Chapter 3, Research Design, Methods, and Sampling Techniques. In this session, we will discuss the Chapter 3 of Practical Research 1, where we are going to focus on methodology and research processes. This chapter plays a crucial role because it explains how the study is conducted and ensures that the research is reliable and valid. In this discussion, we will cover research design, locale of the study, sampling and respondent, research instrument, data gathering procedure, statistical treatment of data, and ethical consideration. The research design describes the overall strategy used to integrate the different components of the study. It outlines how data will be collected, analyzed, and interpreted. There are different types of research design, but the two most common are number 1, quantitative research design. It focuses on numerical data and statistical analysis, like for example, studying the correlation between study time and academic performance of a student. Number 2 is qualitative research design. Qualitative research design explores experiences, perception, and meanings, like for example, understanding how students perceive financial literacy programs. Number 3 is mixed methods design. Mixed method designs combine both quantitative and qualitative approaches for a more comprehensive analysis. Tip: choose a research design that best suits for your nature of the study and the data you aim to gather. Now, let's move on to the locale of the study. The locale of the study describes the geographical location where research is conducted. When defining the locale, specify the area, mention the city or town or institution where the data is collected. Justify the choice, explain why this location is appropriate for the study. Example, this study was conducted at, then insert the school name, a senior high school offering the ABM strand. The school was chosen because it caters to grade 11 ABM students who are focus of the study. The sampling and respondents section explain who will participate in the study and how are they going to be selected. There are two types of sampling. Number 1 is the random sampling. In random sampling, every individual has an equal chance of being selected, while non-random sampling selection is based on criteria. Like for example, choosing grade 11 ABM students who meet criteria condition. Respondents refer to the individuals who will provide the data. When selecting respondents, first you need to define the population. Specify the group study focuses on. Number 2, set the sample size. Determine the number of respondents using a reliable formula or estimation. Like for example, this study involved 100 grade 11 ABM students selected through purposive sampling based on their enrollment in the ABM strand.
The ethical considerations ensures that the research is conducted with integrity and respects for participants. When addressing ethical concerns, we need informed consent, ensures that respondents voluntarily agree to participate. We also need confidentiality to protect the privacy of respondents by keeping their information secure. For example, participants were informed about the purpose of the study and their consent was obtained before data collection. And a call to action: as you proceed with your research, remember to select the appropriate research design, use valid instruments and analyze the data accurately, uphold ethical standards, and protect respondents. Thank you for watching. We've covered the essential of Practical Research 1 to guide you through your research journey. Best of luck and keep striving for excellence.